Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. I've got my protection on today, as I do every day. And yeah, it's an unseasonally warm day today. I am going to be rabbit holing a bit today, so I need all the protection I can get. But first of all, I just want to say, well, bravo, Colorado, in primarying and voting in the socially minded Democrats. I don't like the term socialist so much because it's been bastardized by the far right, so I prefer to just call them socially minded Democrats. Colorado, but also, Tallarico with Texas and New York and Xavier in California, etc. Yes, there is this shift happening. And bloomin' wake up, corporate Dems, because you old fossils, see you later. Okay, either get on board or get off the train, get off the station. Okay, news has come out that Mitch was found unconscious in his home. Apparently, CPR and advanced life support was given to him, and he was transported in an advanced life support ambulance over 2 weeks ago. Haven't heard anything since. My guides, if you remember at the time, did say that he was on life support. What else is in the news? I've put in my post section a link to the video that I did 11 months ago in regards to Leon Black. There's a few things happening there as well today. As I said, I'm going to be rabbit holing like you wouldn't believe. That was 11 months ago. And the cards still stand. I've put a timestamp on it. Thank you so much to that gorgeous viewer who nutted that out for me. And actually, right at the end, I had a couple of minutes where I threw some cards on Bondi and had her departure as well. Again, 11 months ago. Okay, what's come out? The Felon has announced the Patriot Games, or in other words, the Hitler Youth Hunger Games are going ahead. Got a broadcast deal. Dean Blundell, Blundell, and Substack has a bit of a report on this. Pretty much, it's one boy and one girl from every state, one male and one female athlete from each state and territory, competing in the Patriot Games from August 9th through 11th, arriving from August the 7th in Washington, DC, I suspect. Oh my goodness, talk about deja vu there. So that's going to be really interesting. Yes, this is the times we are in, 1930s Germany. I also want to give a huge thanks to beautiful viewer Paula, who has a blog called The Weird Chicks blog, and she sent me these gorgeous old style oracle deck and old style tarot. I haven't opened them as of yet. They are there for me to open on the weekend. And she also included this gorgeous little treasure pouch that had in it this protection ring. So let me put it on. Let me see what finger it will fit. Put it on that hand. Beautiful. And this gorgeous bracelet as well. So thank you, Citron, I suspect it is. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Haven't got it on yet because it's a clip off and clip up, and I'm not very good at the clip up ones, but I will put that on going forward. Okay, so I'll just pop that aside, and a gorgeous letter sent with it as well. So thank you so much, Paula. Right, what do I want to have a look at today? Oh boy, are we going to be rabbit holing today. What I want to have a look at. Oh, first of all, it was on the news last night over here in Australia. There has been a tent city set up in Caracas in Venezuela. And it's very, very much about, there's no government funding for this, but what is happening is that the community are providing food and shelter and tents and medical care and psychological care and legal information that's required and charging of mobile phones, etc. So Absolutely. When community comes together, we can create magic. So that was just really heartwarming to see in Caracas in the face of so much devastation. Okay, what do I want to have a look at? Oh, my guides keep yabbering on about Moldova as well, so watch Moldova. Um, it's between Ukraine and can't remember because I looked it up on the geography this morning, but it's actually not attached to Rusky at all. It's to the south of Ukraine. But yeah, apparently it was part of the USSR and it still has quite a bit of clandestine Russian influence happening there. Oh, goodness me, I'm noticing how the windows are shining. So just be aware that stuff might come out about Moldova. Right. Oh gosh. I saw a podcast a little short this morning. There was a podcaster that said, I can't believe I'm reading on this SHIT. And she reporting this SHIT. And it was she was reporting on the Orange Felon was at some sort of event and they had an AI projection of, was it Roosevelt? I can't actually remember. And he was in conversation with the AI image, uh, claiming all these, oh, you're being so supportive of me and you're complimenting on what I'm doing, as if it was a real person. Oh my goodness. And I feel I am totally in that camp. I can't believe I'm still talking about this, but anyhow, here we are. And I do wonder what zombie juice the felon has been given. He's come out and said he will talk as long as possible in the 107 degrees, probably 85% humidity. That's on the 4th of July. I'll have a look at that tomorrow. His rally, I'll have a look at that tomorrow, which is my Friday. What I want to have a look at first up, this is going to be a bit of a deep reading. As I said, I found the Leon Black reading that I did. Well, I didn't find it. One of you guys found it. That I had 11 months ago, and that's now starting to come to fruition, which is why I often say these things don't necessarily happen overnight. But one of my gorgeous viewers has sent me an email with a connection to a Substack article by Kate Justice, Kait Justice. Now, if you guys remember correctly, I was getting cushion Bessent, and I could, why Bessent, who is the Secretary of the Federal Treasury, and I was completely blank about why Bessent was coming up in my thoughts. This is an older article from March, but things are actually happening in regards to this article. So it's called, Is This Why the Treasury Secretary is Blocking the EPS Financial Records? I'm just going to pause you while I cough. Hang on. Right, back again. That was a quick one. Yeah, I've got my lozenge in. I've got my lemon and ginger tea sitting there. Okay, so what's actually happening? Why is the Treasury Secretary blocking the financial records? Well, basically because he's in such deep connection with what's happening. Where on earth do I go? So I do apologise. I will read a little bit of it. I will link this Substack article in my post section. Go to Meister Tarot under any video or click on the pink circle. It'll take you to the main page and you'll find the posts there. But what's happening here? Connections to Ihad Barak, who apparently was a former Is Not Real Prime Minister and one of EPS's closest associates, visited him approximately 30 times between 2013 and 2017, and was also one that was named by Virginia Giuffre. Now, the Australian police are reopening that investigation, so I might actually do a reading on that in the next couple of days, see how it goes. And leaked that this former Is Not Real Prime Minister Barak ran an intelligence consulting firm called Ergo. He had three firms that he set up: Ergo, cogito, and sum, which form the Latin phrase, I think, therefore I am. So, yeah, quite interesting there. And apparently the firm Ergo produced intelligence reports that were sold to hedge fund managers as commercial products. Okay, where does Bessent come in? In 2014, an email from Ergo's managing party named Scott Bessent, who is now Secretary of Treasury, so this is back in 2013, as a client. And referenced a co-investment arrangement with the Soros Fund Management. George Soros, a very corrupt individual who made $1 billion betting against the British pound, and that was the crisis where Bessent apparently made his reputation as a money mover and shaker, and served as the chief investment officer of the Soros Fund. I'm going, it's quite a long article, so I do apologize, and I'm just trying to read little snippets of it. Okay, so he was the CEO of the Soros Fund. What does that actually mean? Why is the corporate structure important? Okay, the EPS Southern Trust Company, the US Virgin Islands entity that I mentioned yesterday, goodness me, was it only yesterday, was a limited partner in Barak's company, one of his intelligence companies, acquiring 50% ownership, and this company Sum received corporate consulting payments from Bessent's Soros Fund Management, but that was also the company that paid out the US Virgin Islands in a entertainment-only bribe to drop charges against EPS. So there's that Attorney General connection as well. Oh dear, right. Okay, then EPS money flowed through this company Sum to another technology company called Carbine, where this ex is not real PM served as a chairman. Why is Carbine important? Carbine is the company that creates the 911 emergency services systems, can remotely activate smartphone cameras, GPS and audio, and yeah, so is embedded in the 911 emergency service system with AT&T. Oh boy, it just goes deeper and deeper. So where are we going with this? Shortly after Bessent became a client of this first company, Ergo, which was the intelligence reporting one. So Carbine came under Sum, which is the one that has the embedding in the technology. Remember all those little pages that blew up? I think my guides are telling me there's a connection there as well. Oh man. So it wasn't long after Bessent became a client that the company Ergo, which was the intelligence producing one, started providing information. Oh, okay. The report attributed information to a source described as a 20-year friend and geopolitical advisor to Putin, and had met with him in the last 2 weeks. So the connections are just mind-boggling. So Bessent, I suspect Bessent is this 20-year friend and geopolitical advisor as well. Okay, if these source descriptions are accurate, Ergo, the intelligence producing one, was selling intelligence products containing information from inside both the Ruski government and the US military, packaged as a commercial product. They are saying that Bessent was likely receiving these reports, but I do wonder who was actually supplying the information. Might have been Soros himself. Anyhow, going further on. Right, Bessent is now the Secretary of the Treasury. He chairs the Committee of Foreign Investment in the United States, which is the gatekeeper to approving any foreign government that wants to buy into an American company. Where are we going with this? Okay, what was supposed to happen about 2 days ago was the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund was slated to purchase a company called Electronic Arts, which is a computer gaming company, to the value of $55 billion. So why is that interesting? Well, this company, Electric Art, has the personal data, behavioural profiles, spending patterns, social connections, and communication records of more than 700 million worldwide users under the data gaming capture. Okay, why is this interesting as well? So pretty much it's a behavioural surveillance goldmine that the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund would own approximately 93%. So who's owning the other 8%? Well, you might ask, Kushner's affinity partners would have 5% equity in the deal, which gets a little bit conflict of interest, because the reasoning is that it would be impossible to block this deal, because who's going to reject a deal involving the president's son-in-law and daughter? Okay, so Kushner with 5%. But also at the same time, what's happened is Kushner has, at the same time, co-founded an AI company called BrainCo, co-founded with OpenAI and Affinity Partners to build artificial intelligence tools designed to process massive data sets. Oh, okay, so this is why they need the AI data centers, because they're wanting to process 700 million user data from this one acquisition company. Oh man. Okay. So, and Bessent is the one that is overseeing all this. They're so intertwined. Okay, where else do I go with this? Well, who else who's going for the other 3%? That would be a company called Silver Lake. Who owns Silver Lake? If you dig down deeply, the Saudis, so this is about the 8% that's owned by American companies, the Saudis and Blue Owl Capital. Oh man, didn't I read on Blue Owl Capital about 2 or 3 months ago? So it just absolutely does my head in. So I'm not actually quite sure where I'm going to go with this, entertainment only. And I think the reason why my guides give me these topics to look at is because I'm not in the US, and hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, I can safely delve into them. So I'm just going to pause you while I cough again. Hang on a sec. Right, back again. I have no idea where I want to go with this. What I first might do, and the thing is this information is all coming out. There is so much corruption involved in this current administration. It's not the felon himself. My guides, as I said the other day, were talking about a couple of weeks ago. Didn't they say Kush and Bessent being involved in something, and I couldn't put my finger on what it was? Well, here it is. And I'm going to use the Sci-Fi Tarot because I think this is what my guides told me to use, the Sci-Fi Tarot. And as I split the deck to start shuffling, I get the Six of Pentacles, money changing hands to get the money all up into the oligarchs, and the Eight of Pentacles, follow the money trails, but also hard work happening behind the scenes. But also look what this guy's working on. it really, oh gosh, okay. Now, ATT, Todd Alcott, but he's got the way that this company, what was it called? The one that's got into the 911 systems, etc., was given entry into those systems via AT&T. Okay, embedded in the 911 systems. So, so EPS's money flowed through Southern Trust into Carbine, which is which also has received money from some, which is, and some is or partly owned through by some. I haven't put the pegs together because my brain is just overloading at the moment. So some is not real emergency technology company called Carbine. Carbine has gotten embedded into the US systems through AT&T. Oh boy, where they can remotely activate a caller's smartphone camera, GPS, and audio. It was a company that was chaired by the previous corrupt is not real PM called Barak, and is also embedded in the 911 systems. My guides keep going back to those exploding phones and pages. Oh boy, 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 boy. So, where do I go with this? If we follow the money, Bessent ran a fund that paid Baddock's company for intelligence reports. Baddock's company was also the entity that controlled where the EPS money went. The EPS lawyer, Darren Indyke, designed it that way so that the same door Bessent's money walked in through was the same door the EPS money walked in through. And on the other side of the door was Carbine, the surveillance system and the surveillance technology. The man who oversaw the fund was a client of Ergo, which was the intelligence arm of it, is now the Secretary of Treasury, which means he controls the financial records that could map the full pipeline. Now, apparently, the Senate has requested 3 times the financial records from the Treasury, and 3 times Bessent has said no. I have no idea where I'm going with this, but I think it's important. Now, what has happened is excuse me, the Electronic Arts purchase, the actual players are saying, we don't want this, go away. So the ones that actually are the users of Electronic Arts are pretty much blocking this takeover. So I want to see, oh gosh, it's so convoluted. Let's have a look. Will the Electronic Arts take $55 billion? Right, what are they telling me? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of Pentacles. Okay, because my eyesight's not the greatest. The 9 of, they've thrown these cards out. Ooh, okay. So the 9 of Pentacles, these extremely wealthy parasitic carpetbaggers, because let me call them what they are, and carpetbaggers is a term from the Civil War, the new money, they're all for it. They're sitting in their luxurious settings, thinking that they can control everything. So this is part of this sovereign corporate takeover of all the entities of the world. I've been talking about this for ages. The parasitic carpetbaggers are wanting to split up the world into segments. Fossil fuel or energy, which is why they are so vehemently against renewables, because when you have solar panels on your roof and you have a battery attached to your wall, you're not accountable to those that are providing the energy. You've got your own energy. It's also another reason why they don't want you to harvest drinking water or even water for washing your clothes or something, because they can't control if you are creating these basics yourself. So you've got the energy, communications, space exploration, shipping, retail. Bezos is the retail one. Data, surveillance. Who would that be? Surveillance would be teal. Data would be, because data is power. Knowledge, applied knowledge. It's not just knowledge, but applied knowledge is power, and that's about this data. So yeah, this is absolutely. However, the wheel is turning. The wheel of fortune. I'll bring you down to have a look. Well, I hold the cards up. The wheel of fortune is turning. People are seeing it for what it is, including these 700 million users of electronic arts. They see it for what it is and they want no part of it. So it's actually been delayed a couple of weeks, allegedly. You've then got the Ace of Swords with its ray gun here. Ray gun ready to go off. The Ace of Swords. This is about an intellectual gift and guaranteed non-toxic. Yeah, right. Pretty sure that's right. The double-edged sword, but also the sword of truth. I'm just going to say it was a guarantee. It was an intellectual gift that is now on its side, because the reality is people are seeing it for what it is. It is about a data gathering system. Oh, this is so creepy. And then we've got the Seven of Wands. On the back foot, cornered, defense, trying to defend their position. Again, my eyesight isn't as good as it used to be. Does she have a secret weapon? Oh, can't even read that. Probably with my glasses, I probably couldn't even read it either. I don't know if the camera will focus on it. But on the back foot, defensive, defending the position. Because I think what's happened is it's been exposed for what it is. And this is why they want these massive data centers, is to process this volume of information. It's not about, medical. It's not about writing a good book. It's about processing information. It's about knowledge, because knowledge, applied knowledge, is power. But to be able to apply the knowledge, they need to process it in the first place. Think back to Cambridge Analytica, which is pretty much small fry compared to what they actually want to attempt now in regards to the 2015 election. Okay, so let me put those back randomly. Be interesting to see if any come out again. This could be a bit of a long reading. I do apologise. Just grab myself another lozenge so that I can keep going. Eucalyptus and honey. I'll find the straight eucalyptus ones don't help the cough as much. Okay, let's have a look. This electronics arts takeover. Oh, God, it's so insidious. So insidious. How's it going to go? Right, the Page of Swords has popped out. Is it going to go ahead? Well, Page of Swords, it's very much about a whistleblower. And on the bottom, I've got the Five of Pentacles, the moral, financial, ethical corruption, but also the banishment out into the cold, out of the church. I'm going to stick with the moral, financial, ethical corruption there. Lost, alone and afraid, with worse to come, it says on here. Lost, afraid and worse to come. They've been outed. There's no hiding. My guides months ago, when I said, will they flee? And they very clearly said there was nowhere in earth. They're very clear about it being in earth that they can hide. Page of Swords, the information is out there. The Ten of Swords is the challenge, the ending. It may not go through because it's very public for those that want to look, that bother to look, about how deep the corruption of this is. Ten of Swords is the challenge, bringing it down. Okay, at the foundation, we've got the Nine of Wands. The barrier between us, but could also be guardrails standing to prevent this evilness from actually getting through. So Bessent might head the panel that authorises it, being the Secretary of the Treasury. I think it might. I'm getting it might not go through. We've got, what have we got here? The Three of Wands, waiting for their ship to come in, something coming in from overseas. As I said, 55 billion of Saudi money. Where are you going? What will you do when you get there? Once you get there, standing on the precipice. But this is in the past. This is about something coming in, waiting for the ship to come in from overseas. The light on horizon calls to you. Yeah, just reading the card itself. Yeah, I'm just going to say Three of Wands. Ship went out, waiting for it to come back again. Okay, where are we going with this? Crowning the reading is the Emperor. Now, daughter's just arrived home, so I'm just going to pause you for a second. Hang on. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I wasn't playing with the cards at all. Went out and had a bit of a conversation. Okay, the crowning the reading, the Emperor card. This is the energy that they are bringing to the situation. The power like unto a god. And that's how they see themselves. The power unto a god. They see themselves as this unquestionable or unable to be questioned authority figure. Okay, so is it actually going to go through? The King of Pentacles, the oligarchs in the immediate future, he had it all. What he did with it changed the universe. Ugh. So this is the immediate future. It might get approved, but as part of the unraveling, it might get wound back. Let's see where it goes. Because this is this oligarchical energy. These are creepy cards. Because the energy they're stewing in is they have the power to stop this evil from getting a foothold. Oh gosh, now it's got me worried. Okay. Externally, the Five of Wands. The big fallout, the infighting. This is what's going to hopefully prevent it. The Five of Wands. The best laid plans falling apart because the information is coming out there. In an attempt to save themselves, certain elements are going to get thrown under buses, etc. The Five of Wands externally. Internally, we've got the Queen of Swords. So for me, queens are very much about internally doing, stepping back, whereas kings are about externally doing. This queen, she knows what must be done and she isn't afraid to do it. So this is internal strategizing perhaps. Okay. Has this little Ace of Wands in her hand there. So this might be in this chaos. They sort of step back to look at a new strategy. The Seven of Wands in the hopes and fears. Again, this cornered card. trying to defend their position. Right? How's it actually? Oh, far out, man. The outcome, the devil. Ooh. Tying themselves to the devil, connecting themselves to the devil. A machine perfectly engineered for, what does that say again? My for enslavement. Oh, far out. Up the top here, this little writing here. A machine perfectly engineered for enslavement. Exactly. This is what this agreement is about. ChatGPT, who's that one? Oh man, aren't they looking at an IPO shortly? Three of Pentacles, the dark money changing hands behind the scenes. The High Priestess, the secrets though being revealed. And Judgment. Look at these major arcana. The last days, says off planet Omega, but the last days, this collective awakening, this huge wake up about what is happening literally in front of our faces. But this is a part of this voluntary ignorance. Oh, it's just a transactional thing. No, it's not. It's so much more. Then we've got the Queen of Cups, trying to keep something hidden. She holds life in the palm of her hand. And the Hermit, alone amongst the stars, but it's also shining a light in the darkness. Being forced, could be being forced to go in. And there's that Ace of Swords again. There might be the sword, the ray gun, as I said, is on its side. There might, and then the Hierophant, the higher authorities, could be the courts, could be international courts, because apparently in the UK there's a court case going through to try and prevent the merger of Warner Brothers and Paramount. And if this is 700 million users, it's not just the US. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, the mercenary actions being revealed, and then the Ten of Wands, the overreach. Okay. And then we have the Ten of Cups. So a couple of tens coming out there. Right. With the Five of Pentacles on the bottom, the World card, the King of Swords, and then the Ten of Pentacles. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. On the bottom. So I suspect that this is going to go through, that the Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, who has, I can't express how deep he is in this corruption. So deep, and has been for decades. I think he's going to give the go-ahead for it to go through, but I think there's going to be, because it's not just the US that it is relating to, there are players throughout the world, that there is going to be a court case, legal action taken overseas to try and prevent it from happening. And then we've got 10, 10, 10, and the challenges are 10. So I think what's going to happen, the Five of Pentacles, this corruption and this disregard for the actual users as well, who are going to find themselves cast aside in exchange for their data by those that are inside on the inside, around the world, because it's an end of an era, are going to bring a court case, King of Swords, that is going to prevent this from happening, the Ten of Pentacles. End of this oligarchical attempt. And it says there, the ideal family, cloning has gone too far. It's all about the data. Absolutely all about the data. So I think it is going to get the nod from Bessent, but it's going to be hopefully prevented. And boy, oh boy, isn't discovery going to be interesting? Due to some international court case. Okay, I'm going to use the same cards. I'll just bring you down so you can see me sharply. What does the future hold for Bessent himself? Do not be fooled by the smiling fatherly look. Oh, what is going to happen? Boy's gotten cush. He'll end up in orange. He'll lose everything. Vanka will divorce him to protect herself and her children. I don't see her going to jail. But she'll become a society nobody, pretty much like Melania does. But these, I did get Bessent and Kush the other week in a reading. What's going to happen to Bessent as being part of some intertwined corruption, and I couldn't place my finger on it. What's going to happen to Bessent? My guides have always said for years, follow the money. So these financial records that Bessent is refusing to release. I want to have a look at the man himself first. Bessent, King of Cups, master of his own heart, master of his own destiny. Okay, he's in this highfalutin position of this ruler of all he surveys, is what my guides are selling me. The leader of all he surveys, master of his own destiny. Okay, challenged by the Empress. I don't think this is Russia. The mother of invention, a stimulating science adventure. The Empress, this is the birthing of the new. This is very much about the socially minded Dems that are coming through. If you think of the Lightseer's Tarot, she gives birth to a new world. Expansion. Right, they're pulling me towards expansion. The challenge is the inability. So the AI centre's being knocked back everywhere. Even in Australia, people are up in arms about them, and they're trying to build them in the most ridiculous water poor locations out of public eye is what I'm getting. They're trying to build them out of public eye in Australia so that we're not aware they're actually getting built. But the Empress here, the challenge is the expansion. Okay. The Two of Wands at the foundation, a plan that's underway. Tell me about what's going to happen to Bessent. Placing of the earth into its position. That's what I'm getting from that. This evilness, playing with the earth. In the past, we've got the Ten of Wands. So what's going to happen to Bessent himself? The overreach. I am wondering whether this is going to be recommended to be knocked back, and he's going to overrule to put it through this takeover of electronic arts, because that would be very much overreach. And then the Ten of Cups at the top for him. family, home and happiness, the wave of the future, the people, the democracy, the will of the people is the way of the wave of the future. Okay. Over, oh gosh, and then the Ace of Wands. So the immediate future for him, so this is the energy he's stewing in, trying to bring it to plan, trying to, okay, thank you, 10 of Cups, trying to control the future. This is the sort of thing why I won't read on the midterms yet. I'm not sure the midterms will actually go ahead because of all this overreach. The immediate future, the Ace of Wands, a ruling coming out. So I'm talking about Scott Bessent. I think he's going to overrule. I think he's going to overrule the recommendation to push this through. Externally, what have I got there? Oh, gosh. What's that? The Eight of Swords. Legally restricted. Legally restricted and exiled. So I think he's going to be somehow legally prevented. You've then got the King of Pentacles internally, the oligarchs, the money, the power, restricted externally, hopes and fears, the Six of Swords, fleeing, trying to get away, trying to go somewhere else in the hopes and fears, trying to move something forward, but I think he could be fleeing. Judgment, Queen of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Wow. Again, he's going to face judgment. Queen of Cups, trying to keep something, a lid on something, but he's going to be exposed with a Hanged Man. Abused, scared and forsaken. Was he a madman or a prophet? It says there. And then the Five of Swords. Betrayal, deceit, lies, backstabbed. Five of Swords. And then we've got the Eight of Cups. I think he's going to have to get out of Dodge, pretty much. Pretty much out of Dodge. Eight of Cups. Oh, what's on the bottom? The Three of Swords. The treason, the betrayal, the deceit. The Knight of Cups, the false knight. The Trojan horse. And you've then got the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles, it came out of nowhere and it changed everything. This is about the money being revealed, the amount of money, the connections to the money, the big money information being revealed. You've got the Page of Wands information coming forward and the Fool. Page of Wands, someone bringing information forward, and the Fool is chucked out of the capsule. Genius or suicide, it says here. So that's Scott Bessent. Let's have a little bit of a look at the Electronic Arts takeover. Show me the takeover by the Saudi Sovereign Fund, or whatever you like to call it, and Kush and Altman, Sam Altman, ChatGPT. Gosh, he came up in a reading not that long ago as well. Didn't he have a falling out with Fleon or something? Yes, he did. That's right. This is all this internal backstabbing, throwing under the bus. Oh gosh, wouldn't it be funny if Fleon was the one that threw the spanner in the works of this? Okay, let's have a look. Because Fleon is my King of Pentacles as well, when I'm asking about him. If you're wondering who Fleon is, he's Space Boy, previously known as Musk. Okay, let's have a look. Electronic Arts. Yes, I've seen something's thrown out. I wonder if that's in regards to Queen of Swords. Again, she keeps popping up. Okay, I'm going to put that down, pause you while I cough. Hang on a sec. So Queen of Swords, some internal, she knows what must be done and she isn't afraid to do it. Some internal strategy. Okay, electronic arts, or just throwing a spanner in the works of it. Someone that's involved. Okay, the electronic arts takeover, the gaming system. What do we need to know about it? Okay, telling me to do this. Right, the Nine of Wands back again. The takeover. The Nine of Wands. The guardrails that should be holding and will hold. The Ten of Pentacles. You've got the money oligarchs. You've got the Hermit, a light being shone in the dark here, exposing them, finding themselves isolated. And then oh gosh, there's that Devil again. So the electronic arts takeover. I'm getting that switched off the big, huge oligarchical money. They're doing it under the shadow of darkness. Ignoring the guardrails is what I'm getting there. And then you've got the Devil, a machine purposely equipped for enslavement. Yep. Ick. Right. This is the intention of it. There are guardrails in place to prevent this sort of thing happening. So it's sort of a double whammy. There are guardrails in place. It is about an ending of this oligarchical legacy. The Hermit, light being shone in the dark in regards to this, because it is absolutely for enslavement. Oh, but I think this is what they intend to do with it, but I think it's going to be their undoing. The Two of Wands, the plan, the Wheel of Fortune, the plan not turning out how it meant to, and then the Knight of Wands, volatile information coming forward. Adventurer of the spirit. So the plan, the wheel turning, who knows where it's going to stop. Could be some sort of announcement that comes out, or could be volatile information that comes forward. The Magician, the manipulation, the master of everything. An exciting adventure at the limits of human comprehension. Page of Wands, information being brought forward. And the Sun card, being exposed. Being fully exposed with what the intention is. Oh boy. Follow the money trails. The Chariot, Eight of Pentacles, the Chariot, and Temperance. Finding a balance. Chariot's my military card. Five of Wands, the throwing under the bus. Three of Pentacles, the dark money being exposed. Ten of Cups, the people. Seven of Pentacles, an inability to harvest. And then the King of Swords, legal action being taken. And the Ten of Wands in regards to this overreach. Got the Hierophant. And the Page of Cups, unexpected information coming forward. Three of Cups, those that were involved. Page of Pentacles, money information coming forward. King of Cups, about Bessent. I don't know what star sign it is, but I'm going to call that Bessent. And then we've got the Two of Pentacles. Trapped between two realities. Four of Wands. Three of Wands. And then we've got the Eight of Swords. Oh, the lovers, those that are involved. Six of Swords, and the Emperor. This is just icky, icky. Nine of Swords, nightmare situation, the world and the treason. Yeah, I think that Bessent is going to give authority for it to go ahead. I don't think it's going to actually go ahead. I think there's going to be some sort of international legal action taken in regards to this. Sorry about such a long video. It's just a really, really, really important topic at this time. Oh boy. Okay. Again, don't be alarmed, but be aware. We are literally in a battle for our humanity against those that want to use AI to be the masters. So it's very much, don't be afraid. Do what you can, and the best thing that you can do is be aware and share the information, because you are absolutely among friends. 700 million gamers, the majority of which do not want this. They see it for what it is. Okay, I'm going to leave you there. Catch you shortly. Bye-bye.